This video is about permutations and combinations. What is a permutation? A permutation is an arrangement of a set of n elements. Let us consider set A, whose elements are the letters A, B, and C. So this is how it is written. Now, this means that in this group or in this set, we have 6 permutations. So we have the permutation wherein A comes first, B comes first, and then C is next. We also have A, C, and B. We also have B, C, and A. We can also have the arrangement B, A, C, or the arrangement C, A, B, or the arrangement C, B, A. All of these 6 arrangements are permutations of the set of A, which is A, B, and C. So as you can see, it is very particular with order. A comes first, B comes next, and C is the last. It is different when A comes first, C comes second, and B comes last. This is why it is called a permutation. It has a particular order, or we consider every particular order of each set or each element of each set. Now, what are the different concepts or formulas that are related to permutation? So in order for us to solve problems involving permutation, we have 4 formulas. The first formula is when n is greater than r. That means a certain set of elements you need to take as a number less than the total number of elements. The formula for this is the permutation of nr is equal to n factorial over n minus r factorial. Let's illustrate this using an example. 6 people enter a room that contains 10 chairs. In how many ways can they be seated? So for this example, let us determine the value of n and the value of r. Of course, the n is the total number of elements. So in this case, the total number of elements is 10. We have 10 chairs. And then, how many chairs would be occupied? It will be occupied by 6 people. Hence, n is equal to 10 and r is equal to 6. As you can see, n is greater than r. And of course, this is a permutation problem because 6 people can sit differently in different chairs. That's why we call this as a permutation. Therefore, we apply the formula, permutation of nr, or we can say permutation of 10, taken 6 at a time, is equal to 10 factorial over 10 minus 6 factorial. So what do we mean by this factorial? This means that we will multiply or we will expand this one until we reach 1. So this means it's 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 until we reach 1. Then we have 10 minus 6, that is 4. So 4 factorial, that means we have 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Then we can simply cancel the ones that are the same. So 4 to 4, 3 to 3, 2 to 2, and 1 to 1. Therefore, what we will have as a product would be the product of 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5. And if you open your calculator and use your calculator in order to solve that, we will have the value 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5. And the answer is 151,200 degrees. That means 6 people who enters a room that contains 10 chairs, they can sit 151,200 ways. Let's have another formula. What if the value of n is equal to the value of r? What formula are we going to use? We now use the formula n factorial. That means if n is equal to r, our formula would only be n factorial. So let's have an example. Find the number of 4-digit numbers that can be formed from the digits 1, 2, 3, and 4 if no digit is repeated. So let's check first the given information. So we have 4-digit numbers that we want to make using the digits 1, 2, 3, and 4. And remember, no digit is repeated. So this means that we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have a total of n, which is equal to 4, and we need to make 4-digit numbers. That means our r, or our sample, is also 4. And here, n is equal to 4. Hence, using our formula, the permutation of 4 taken 4 at a time is equal to 4 factorial. And that is equal to 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which is further equal to 24. That means there are 24 ways to form 4-digit numbers from the digits 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's have another formula. It's a formula that involves n elements that are not all different. What formula are we going to use for this? We will use the permutation is equal to n factorial over n sub 1 factorial, n sub 2 factorial, n sub 3 factorial, up to n sub n factorial. What does this mean? It means that when you add all the n sub 1, n sub 2, n sub 3, and n sub n, the total is n factorial. So let's have an example. Let's illustrate this with an example. In how many ways can the letters of the word Mississippi be arranged? So what are we going to do here? We have different letters in the word Mississippi. But first, let us count how many letters does the word Mississippi have. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That means our n is equal to 11. How many m's do we have? We only have 1. How many i's? We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. How many s? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many p? We have 1, 2. So let us check that if we add all the letters, the number of letters for each, the answer is 11. So we have 1 plus 4 is 5, 5 plus 4 is 9, 9 plus 2 is 11. Therefore, if we follow our formula, we will have the permutation of 11 factorial all over 1 factorial, 4 factorial, 4 factorial, and 2 factorial. Further solving this, we will have I will just expand this one until 4 factorial. So 11 times 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2. Sorry, okay, so times 1 all over 1 factorial is simply 1. 4 factorial is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. 4 factorial is also 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And 2 factorial is 2 times 1. Then I will try to cancel what I can cancel in terms of the multiplication. So I can cancel 4, 3, 2, 1 with 4, 3, 2, 1. I can also cancel, for example, 3 times 2 to 6. And 4 times 2 to 8. I can cancel that. Therefore, what will remain are the product of 11 times 10 times 9 times 7 times 5. So these are the only digits that remain. And the answer is 34,650 ways. Therefore, the letters of the word Mississippi can be arranged in 34,650 ways. Let's look at the last example of permutation, or the last formula in permutation. And that is when n is arranged in a cyclic manner. what will be the formula for that? The formula would be permutation is equal to n minus 1 factorial. Example, in how many ways can 7 people be seated at a round table? So the n here is 7, and since you are seated on a round table, this means it's in a circular manner or in a cyclic manner. Hence, the formula would be 7 minus 1 factorial, which is equal to 6 factorial. And we know that that is 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 4. And that is equal to 720 ways. Hence, 7 people can sit in a circular or round table in 720 ways. Now, how about combination? What do we mean by combination? Combination is a set of elements taken without regard to order in which the elements are arranged. That means even if A comes first, B comes second, or C comes last, and B comes first, A comes second, C comes last, these are still one count. This is still a one count because the elements that are involved are still A, B, and C. So again, the only difference of permutation and combinations is one, permutation has regard to order, but combination doesn't have a regard on order. So it doesn't matter who comes first or who comes last, as long as the elements are still same elements, it is a combination. So what is the formula for combination? The formula is n factorial over n minus r factorial r factorial. As you can see, there's an additional r factorial here, and that indicates that the order is disregarded. So let's have an example. How many committees of 7 men can be formed from a group of 25 men? So as you can see here, we are building a committee. Therefore, it doesn't matter who gets to be chosen first or who gets to be in a certain arrangement. As long as the members of the committee are the same person, it's still counted as one committee. So we have to identify what is n. N here is 25 because it's the total number of men, and r is 7 because that's what we need from the 25 men. Therefore, the combination of 25 taken 7 at a time is defined by 25 factorial over 25 minus 7 factorial, 7 factorial. So I will expand this one, 25 factorial, until I reach 18, so that it would be easier for me to cancel. So 25, 24 times 23 times 22 times 21 times 20 times 19 times 18 factorial. Because 25 minus 7 is 18 factorial, so that I can cancel them. And then 7 factorial is 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Then I try to cancel. 7 and 3 is 21. 5 times 4 is 20. What else? I can divide 24 by 6, so I'll get 4 here. And I can divide 22 by 2, so I get 11 here. So just encircling the remaining numbers, I need to multiply. So our answer would be 25 times 4 times 23 times 11. Therefore, there are 25,300 ways to select 7 men to form to select 7 men to form a committee from a group of 25 men. Let's have another example. A business firm wishes to employ 6 men and 3 women. In how many ways can the selection be made if 9 men and 5 women are available? So in this case, we are going to make a committee consisting of 2 different kinds of people, like men and women. So 6 men will be selected from 9 men and 3 women will be selected from 5 women. This means that we will be having two combinations. The combination of the men, or the 6 men, the 9 men rather, taken 6 at a time, and the combination of the 5 women, taken 3 women at a time. What will we do with their answers? We multiply them. So we will have the combination of 9 taken 6 times the combination of 5 taken 3. So let's solve. So we have here 9 factorial over 9 minus 6 factorial, 6 factorial. We have here 5 factorial over 5 minus 3 factorial, 3 factorial. So I'll just expand this one to 6 factorial. So I have 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 factorial. And then 9 minus 6 is 3 factorial. That is 3 times 2 times 1. And then times 6 factorial. I'll cancel 6 factorial. I'll cancel 9 and 3. So that will give me 3. 8 and 2, that gives me 4. Therefore, 3 times 4 times 7 is equal to 84. That's the combination of the men. Multiplied 2, we have 5 times 4 times 3 factorial. 5 minus 3 factorial is 2 factorial, so I will have 2 times 1 times 3 factorial. I'll cancel this one, cancel 4 and 2, and that would give me 5 times 2, which is 10. 84 times 10, this means that our answer is 840 days. Therefore, it means that if a business firm wishes to employ 6 men and 3 women from 9 men and 5 women available, there are 840 ways to do that. So I hope that you understood how permutations and combinations differ. Again, permutation has regard to order, while combinations do not have regard to order. Also, there are 4 formulas involving permutations, while combination only has 1 formula.